Do you want a set of modular walls like these? Stay tuned to see how you can get your own made by me. Step 1. Cutting out the basic shapes. I take my time cutting out the basic shapes with a cheap Hotwire foam cutter and a guide that I made from craft sticks. I tend to get straighter cuts with the foam cutter, and that is essential when building walls that will sit flush against the table. Despite that, I have used a snap-off blade for this project, and the walls have turned out fine after some amount of work. Carving the brickwork. To carve out the basic brickwork, I use my hobby knife to cut lines and brick shapes on all the surfaces. I then use some sort of sculpting tool to make each groove more prominent and beveled. This time I'm using a metal knitting needle. In the past I've used ballpoint pens, sculpting tools, and mechanical pencils. I'm starting to steer clear of ballpoint pens as I've been getting some bleed through even after layering several layers of paint over it. And I really don't like that. Step 3. Adding the texture and details. I add texture to each wall with a piece of sanitized asphalt. I've also used a jagged rock and aluminum foil to get a similar texture in the past. For some detailed cracks in the brickwork, I use an ultra fine point Sharpie. Sharpies will penetrate and melt into the foam and give the cracks a realistic look. Step 4. Undercoating with black. This undercoating consists of black craft paint, white PVA glue, gloss varnish, and water. It will help protect each piece and add some stability to the brickwork. Step 5. Base coating with brown. After the black undercoating is dry, I paint each wall completely in a brown base coat. I don't worry about 100% coverage in this step, as it will add visual interest if some of the black undercoating is showing through. Step 6. Sponging the brickwork gray. I use a piece of sponge to apply gray to each wall. When using a sponge, I am able to cover each piece quickly and add some more texture to the terrain. Step 7. Painting the raw Sienna bricks. In this step, I pick out a few of the bricks and paint them in raw Sienna craft paint. I do this randomly and don't really have a system I go by. This step is simply to add a little more color and visual interest to the otherwise bland walls. Step 8. Drybrushed Highlight. When the walls are completely dry, I dry brush each wall with a cream or off-white craft paint. This serves as a highlight and brings out a lot of the texture we added in step 3. Step 9. Black wash. I use a brush to cover each piece in a black wash. The black wash I use consists of black India ink, water, gloss varnish, and a drop of dish soap. When each piece is completely covered, I leave them to dry. Step 10. Applying the matte varnish. After the black wash is completely dry, I cover each piece in a matte varnish and then leave to cure for a day. I usually use the kind you paint on, but you can use the spray varnish as well. Just be careful to spray in light coats, as the spray varnish can melt the styrofoam. When finished, the walls should look like these. They are stackable, modular, and a must-have for both war games and role-playing games. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell icon below. So yeah, do you want a set of these modular walls made by me? Follow me on Twitter or Instagram, and watch for future giveaways. Links in description. or you can purchase them from me at my Etsy store or through my eBay, links below. Also become my patron and get discounts, rewards, and more giveaways. Anyway, I really appreciate you staying tuned and watching my video. This is my 4th video on YouTube so far, and it is a pleasure to show you my process. Feel free to comment below, give suggestions, or leave constructive criticism. I'll do my best to respond, and I appreciate any comment you give. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit the bell below for weekly content. Thanks again.